Hello, 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 and thank you for joining me for another Nene moment. Well, today, what I wanted to talk about, because it's been coming up a lot in conversation, about is it okay for a mother not to let a child know who their father is? And the reason why I'm getting on here today is because I was sitting at home just relaxing today and not overthinking anything, or pushing myself, should I say. I was just sitting there just chilling and enjoying the day. And I was watching this movie called One Last Thing. And this man on there had hired a private investigator um, to search for his daughter. He assumed he had a daughter. He wasn't for sure. And he hired a private investigator. So the private investigator was looking for this young lady for 25 years. And finally, the private investigator found her and everything else like that. And when he got in touch with his daughter, he found out that the mother had told the daughter that he died in a car accident. She gave him the name, and she gave the daughter the name and a picture, but that was it. That's all. He lived out of town somewhere. She never even knew that he was alive. So I said all that to say, because there's so many times in life, like that situation and so many others, that a child had to go through unnecessary heartache and pain. He was a well-off dentist, and the mother was out here doing whatever she was doing. But she passed away. The child ended up in foster care, and it just didn't work out. It worked out. It worked out according to plan, I guess. But the reason why I wanted to say that, because it touched so close to home. Because I do not know my biological father. But the father that I have grown to know as my father, I thank him for being there to, for me to call him father. But at the same time, he was not active in my life like that to give me a father or a male role model. And so many times in life, us as parents, we sit up here and we make a choice for our kids, and we think that it's the best for them at the time, but who is it better for? Is it better for us because we don't want to deal with the situation, or is it actually better for the kids? I know in some situations it is best to keep your child away from the individual, but I feel like in those cases you should discuss it with your child, especially when they're old enough to comprehend. You let that child know who their parent is, the absentee parent is, and you give them as much information as possible so they can make a choice if they want to entertain their absentee parent or not. But I don't feel like it should be withheld. I did not have any information on my father outside of me going over to a lady's house named Miss Jackson when I was younger. And I never knew that she was anything to me. I just thought she was a friend of my mother's until I got older. And I went over there one time and I seen this board with all these pictures on there, and I seen just me and my son, my pictures on there. I didn't see my sisters or anything else like that, but still I wasn't tripping off of it to ask my mother anything. And once she passed away and everything, came out and things like that, it's another man that's my father. I'm okay with it because my mother covered me so well to where I didn't really miss the need of a father. But then I realized that as I got older and I was entertaining men, I probably needed the guidance of a father. But if my father was not able to give me that proper guidance, I would see why he was withheld from me. But even if it was something else, the thing is, just allow that conversation to be had, to where whatever questions or confusion that your child may have, then that can be addressed. So they won't grow up feeling rejected or things like that just because of a choice that we made thinking it was in the best interest of our children. Always be mindful of them. We say that we're here to cover them and we love our children, but sometimes our acts are unloving. Withholding things from them that could be given, can cause hurt and pain. So are we covering them like we say that we should? So that's just my perspective. From my understanding, my mother did not know her father. And from my understanding, his name was on her birth certificate, but the last name was switched around to where it still would have been a ball of confusion. So we take stands to try to protect, but at the same time, we're causing extra hurt and pain. So I'm on here to say, just simply be mindful of your children and actually take it before the higher power and ask, how should you handle that situation? Because you don't want to cause unnecessary harm if you don't have to. Okay, so that's all I wanted to get on here and say, that if you are an absentee father and you want to see your child, be proactive about it. Do not sit down and let the system or let the parent keep you away from a child that you want to be in their life. And if you choose not to take any proactive steps, it's all fine. Everything will work out according to plan, because all things work out for the good. But at the same time, don't let someone else say if you can be a father or not. If you really want it, go after it. If you don't want it, then, don't go after it. Act like you're going after it. I don't know. But just do not keep that information from your child. So if your child ever gets to a point to where they do want to know, they do have the information to reach out and try to make a connection. So have a great day. Thank you for joining me again. And if you would like to check the movie out, once again, I was watching it on Netflix. And it's called One Last Thing. Okay, so have a great day. Bye-bye.